Oh yeah, so that's the other thing too, right? Like we always had this problem of like, well, how do you make the the fobs and the second gen Filipinos to hang out together? Like what do you do so that they
Yeah,
hang out together? Because if we just like go to a place, if we just sit at a restaurant, it's like sometimes they don't talk you when you're just starting out. It's like they say hi and then after 5 minutes like they don't know what else to say.
yeah. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. How did you connect the first and second generation? So I think for the listeners, I think it was under Aaron's leadership that I saw first gen and second gen people in the same age group fellowshipping. I think that's the only place I've seen it. I mean, I haven't gone to many Filipino American churches, but in our history, that was the only time I've ever seen it where, like, even me, I'm a second gen, but I made close relationships with first generation Filipino Americans who were around the same age. So can you talk about that too? How did you get them to hang out, and what were the key decisions you made to foster that?
I think doing those activities that like the hiking, those kind of things, or the water rafting, activities like those that help them to interact. That was one. And then just actually talking about it, opening it up, like, oh, we need to do this. How do we, talking about it with the group. What was good was that, like, in the leadership structure of the young adults was we had first gen and second gen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. We had leaders who were, mix, and then
yes,
you were the main leader, and you were 1.5. So I think what I observed was when we were together, when we would hang out, like you could make jokes with the first gen, but then you could also make jokes with us. So you were kind of like the bridge.
The bridge, yeah. It's more like the second gen joked about me, but
no, because I remember there was times when like Jerome and Atester and you and Joyce, you guys would make your own jokes, and then like me and Kuya John wouldn't understand, I think, but then you would like tell us, or you would explain to us, and then we would all laugh together. Because you were our connect, I guess, because we're close with you, and then you're also developing a close bond with them. So, like for example, I think one thing I would like to highlight was when we went to DC. That was my first time going to DC with first gen Filipino Americans. It was me, you, and Nathan, and then we went with Ate Mylene and Ate Esther. I think that was the time that I was able to talk with Ate Mylene in more depth. That was the way that I could get to know the first gen Filipino Americans closer.
Yeah. So I think with the connecting those two different generations, it's just creating scenarios where you would have to interact. It's kind of weird going to DC, riding the train, and at least at that point we weren't staring down on our screens. It's just like we gotta talk.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this. I was like, like years later, I was thinking if Aaron wasn't here, I would feel kind of awkward going to DC with them. But since Aaron was there, I think your presence, and also I think Ate Esther, to an extent also, because she's also very friendly. Yeah. So I think, I guess having leaders who are like 1.5, they can help bridge, or they can help create those fellowship opportunities. Because I think that was a spontaneous event. So I think you guys, when you guys decided to go to DC, like I was willing to go because I knew you and Ate Esther, and then I think Ate Mylene went because she knew Ate Esther. So when we have that commonality, when you have someone who we're common friends with, and then we go to DC, then I'm able to interact with Ate Mylene in a different context and get to know her better. So I think that's where 1.5 can act as a bridge or a catalyst or a key to that bridge.
Yeah, but I also would like to say that even if you're not 1.5, I think just the fact that we wanted it, we saw the problem and we wanted to do something about it.
Yeah, the awareness.
The awareness, and we were talking about it, and we're trying to figure out how do we do this? How do we connect? The different groups.
Yeah. So that's good.